Hello, parents. For those who are joining with us for the very first time, welcome to this workshop. This workshop is set aside specially to help our parents at home to give them the basic skills, teach them the basic skills that they would need to know to help their children at home. And these are children 0 to 6 years old. We would have touch on a lot of topics and we're going to continue from where we left off. Now, I have persons who messaging me and say, Miss Tanika, we're so happy for this workshop. We're learning so much. I want to encourage you parents to share this video so that other parents can have the information and benefit as well. I want to say thank you to all the parents who are taking time out to answer your questions and sending the answers to me, who's working and setting up their corners. I'm so happy. In our previous lesson, we talk about management and rules and good parenting. We learned that our children are very smart. It starts from in the crib. Our children can look at us and they can read us. They would lie there in that bed and they would know exactly who to play, when to play, and how to say and when to say things. What I actually mean is that when mommy is around, that child will know how to behave. When daddy is around, that child will know how to react. So our children would ensure that they watch at us and learn about us. Now, we as parents, we have to be more smarter than them, because we learned in the last lesson how our children can actually play us subconsciously. We don't even know that our children are controlling us, because some parents make decisions based on a child's feelings instead of a child's well-being, and our children know that, so they would play us at times. So we have to be smart. We as parents have to set rules, and we have to start early, because if you wait until the child is all grown, it's very hard. So if you start from an early age, it's better. Now, when some parents, when they give birth, instead of placing the baby with them on the bed, they would put the baby in a crib right beside of the bed, and you call that room sharing, and you avoid bed sharing with that child. Some persons, instead of, I know that from the beginning you would rock your baby, but as your baby grow, you would try to change the setting. Instead of walking the baby all the time and rocking the baby, you can change to placing the baby down on the bed and tap the baby to sleep. Because when that child cannot get that rocking, that child will cry for that rocking. So to avoid the crying and to avoid all the stressfulness, parents would work with time, right? Because remember, if you keep rocking the child all the time and you're not adjusting to the child as the child grows, you change the different methods that you have, that you work with your child. You have to change it. If you don't change it, well, then it will be fatiguing for you. And when a child cannot receive what you normally would teach a child, the child will cry and behave in a terrible manner, and then you would feel stressed out. So what is good to do is that you adjust to the child as the child grows. You adjust to the child. When baby is small, I can put baby on my stomach and I can walk baby for hours. When baby get older, I can't do that, but baby still look forward for that because you train baby to do that. So you adjust with baby as baby grows. And some parents, so I have here time. Parents work with time. So time is a good form of example. Another example of good parenting is time. A parent that manages herself well, she works with time. So time is another way, and I want to go a little more deep with time to teach you how important time is. Now, that is good parenting. Now we have a few examples of bad parenting. Some parents don't work with time at all. The child is allowed to do anything when he or she wants. There's no rules, no regulation. That the child can eat, sleep, play, do anything as he or she feels like all day. There's some examples, some children, they're in the mommy's conversation. When mommy's talking with her friend, they're right there and they're listening, and they too are enjoying the conversation and answering back and relating, right? That's what some parents would do. So when you have your child with you in every conversation you have, your child is there and your child is answering and relating back to you and in the conversation, that is bad parenting. We as parents, we have to know rules. We have to set rules rules and boundaries for our children. Another form of bad parenting, something the child don't want to do anything and mommy says. Only when auntie is around, then the mommy can get a child to do this. And then we also have children who would control their parents. Subconsciously, that child is controlling that parent, and that parent has no clue about it. Now, when the children now behave in certain manner and they have certain conduct with themselves, whose fault is it? Now, I want to ask you again, whose fault is it? Is it the child's fault? No, it's not the child's fault. And I want parents to understand, it is not the child's fault. It is not that child's fault. Remember, in our previous lessons, we discussed that children 0 to 8 years old are especially affected by their environment and the people who teaches them. So our children, as we go through with our children, we are our children teacher. We teach our children, and our children adapt to our rules, to our principles, to our behavior, to our life, right? So we learn that our children's actions are based on us parents. We are the reason for the actions. Children 0 to 8 years old. And I know a lot of parents will not agree with me, but yes, our children's actions based on us and the rules we apply. Right? Yeah, I want you to understand that. The rules we apply and how we have them and where we have them, that is what. If you teach your child to say thank you, your child will say thank you when receiving something. Now, if the parent have bad manners, obviously the child will adopt bad manners too. So that's how it goes. And our children see everything that we do, hear everything that we say, and that's what our child demonstrate after. So our children conduct and ways represent us. Children 0 to 8 years old, we learn that it's a crucial time. It's a time where we as parents have to ensure that everything around them is positive, because if we expose them to negative things, our children will adapt to those things, right? So parents, before you get upset and you get angry with your child when your child behave in certain manner, you need to examine yourself. You need to say, you know what, let me check to see where this is rooted, where this comes from. And parents, when you train your child and you have good parenting, you have to safeguard them, because it have family members who would say, leave him, he's too small, leave her, she's too small, let her have her own way for now, she don't understand, she too small, how this child can understand this? We have parents and persons around our children who can influence them wrong. So when you train your child, you have to protect your child and safeguard your child. Some of them would say, some fathers would say, leave the child alone, let the child do whatever he or she wants to do. The child has his whole life to learn. He is small, she is small. What is it that she can do? Those are the type of talking that we as parents have to come out of. We have to realize that those talking cannot work anymore. Our children are very smart, very, very smart. Now let's find a solution to our problems now, right? How can I get my child to listen, be obedient? How can I get my child to listen and to be obedient? How can I make changes? How can I practice good parenting? I know all of these are questions that you're asking, that's arising in your mind. Now, that's where we're going to deal with time. Now, if you look at it, in the school setting, you will see that the teachers, they work with time. Now, we want to take out some of that from the school and apply it in our home. Let's look at the teacher. She ensured that she set time. She set her time chart and she worked with time. When a child goes into school from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, that child work with time from 9 to 12. So that's what we're going to look at. When you take your child to school or the daycare and you examine it, you would realize that your child is governed with time. Everything that they do, everything is governed with time. The teachers work with time. That is what gives them the control. because of time and repetition. That's what makes them a teacher. So that's what I want you now to become a teacher, so that you would understand that it all begins with time. If you set time, you have more control over that child. So, and rules. Now, you want to take that opportunity now to do up our time chart. So the first thing will go in our corner. We already set up our little corner in our home for our children and our child. The first thing after, the second thing I should say, we should write up a time chart. The time chart should be from morning to afternoon. And you set your time when it's time to eat, when it's time to sleep. I know most of you parents are working, but it does not say that you cannot do it, because it's all up to you. And whoever you have caring for your child, you set these rules, you let them know that this is what you should do. Now, parents, it all leaves up to you. Ensure that you have that control. You always have to be in control, not the child. The child has to be the child and you has to be the parent. Now, when you have control, you can have a smooth flow in your home. It will create an environment where you have enough time to rest and to do other things. You will not feel stressed out because you're working with time. And your children will grow and flourish and develop well, because you will early, right? You would barely have crying and tantrum throwing up, because you're feeding your child on time. Your child is resting on time. Your child is having playtime. So parents, work with time. Write up your time chart and use it. Now, if you work with time and you follow along, you will get great results at the end. I give you like at least 1 week. Try it 1 week and you will see the improvement in your child when you set the time and when you manage them. Now, if you manage them, right, you will receive great results. Your child will be much, much more comfortable and things will be much, much more easier for you. I know it might be challenging, but we have to take that step to ensure that we bring our child up the right way. And that's why we went through today. Today we talk about management, good parenting, and rules. So in our next lesson, we will move on. So create that environment, paste up your time chart. Questions will be sent to you as usual. Answer your questions. In our next lesson, we will discuss about nutrition, because for a child to do well and to excel well, you want your child to do so much, we have to know how and what type of food we're giving our children. So we will discuss that in our next lesson. So thank you very much for listening to this lesson. Please share it to parents so that they can benefit from it. And parents, I look forward for you to answer your questions in a questionnaire that will be sent to you in the WhatsApp group. And again, I hope that you enjoyed today's session. Remember, good parenting, management, and rules. That's what makes us good parents, and that is what we want. That is what we want. We want to become our child's teacher, and we see that teachers work with time so that you can have control over the environment, control over your day, so your day will be much brighter and happier.